Babe, I just realized that I brushed aside a reference to almost hitting Poppy, and I wanted to address that. And the ongoing issue with bedtime, with iPad, and you know. So, Paul leaves for work today at noon, and he goes to try to wake Poppy up to say goodbye. And he was like, she's sound asleep. I was like, I'm going to set the most obnoxious alarm on my phone, and I'm going to put it near her head, and I'm going to leave the room. And so it's going to torture her awake. But he had to go. I was like, I'm doing this. So I did it I gave her 10 minutes. And I did that, and she came out, and she was like cranky. I mean, I knew it would be a pleasant wake up. I had not taken my meds yet or eaten breakfast. And she was like, where's Daddy? And I said, he went to work. You were asleep. And she was like, like really snippy about it. And she was like, why didn't he wake me up? And I was like, he didn't want to bother you. You were sleeping. And then I was like, where's my phone? Oh, I have been out feeding the chickens. And I saw her, like, when her alarm had gone off. She was standing in the door naked, holding up my phone and looking angry. And I was like, hi. And then later in the kitchen, I was like, where's my phone? And she's like, you know where it is. And I was like, no, I don't. And she said, it's next to Daddy's blanket. And I had just been in there, and I wondered if she'd put it back there. And I glanced at where I had put it, and it wasn't there. So I was like, I didn't see it there. And she was like, you must not have looked very hard. It was on the other side of the blanket. A lot of that kind of thing. It's really testing my nerves. And so she's like, I want to start getting up earlier. And I was like, yeah, I know. And she was, but I can't because you and Daddy stay up all night talking. And so I'm like, so what you're saying is that if we were quiet, you would unplug your iPad and go to bed? You didn't hear the noise of us talking? You could go to bed and sleep? And she was like, no, which I appreciated the honesty. And then I was like, but you have a pretty good point. I was like, in the old days, I would get you to fall asleep a few hours earlier, and then Daddy and I could start our hanging out time earlier, which sometimes actually was midnight, but anyway, and so there's that. And I was like, and the only way back to that, I think, would be to take away your iPad at a certain time. In the old days, it was 9:30. I'm like, we could give you a little more time than that since you've gotten so used to having it as much as you want. But that's, Daddy and I are talking about that, thinking about that. We don't know what we're going to do. And she's like, you can't take away my iPad. I kind of want to be like, oh, yes, I fucking can. I bought it with my money. I can do whatever I want with it. And I also had a strong urge to smash it on the sidewalk and be like, we don't have the money for another one. So, yeah, it's not a good situation. So we're not having a good morning. And she's like, what are the breakfast choices? And I'm like, well, there's cream of wheat, there's oatmeal, peanut butter and jelly, yogurt. I could make a smoothie. And she's like, a smoothie is too cold. Because she had ice cream out. I don't have that many smoothie ingredients, but she'd taken ice cream out, and I was like, I don't think ice cream's a great idea for breakfast. I was like, but I could make a smoothie with it. Because I do have yogurt. I would add yogurt and fruit, and it would be something more than just ice cream. And she's like, it's too cold. Ice cream is too cold for a smoothie. And I was like, did you know that, like, every ingredient in a smoothie is frozen, like all the frozen fruit. And so she's just like, I guess I'll take cream of wheat. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to make that. I am making it. And I'm starting to feel edgy. Like, I need to eat my own meal. I need to take my meds. But I'm like, just get her set up and then I'll get myself taken care of. And I'm making cream of wheat. And she was sitting on the step stool nearby. And she said something. But I don't remember what it was. And it pushed me over the edge. It enraged me. I wish I could remember what it was. Something with entitlement, something with blaming me for something. She kept blaming me for things, and Daddy, but mostly me. Whatever it was had that tone of blame, I believe. And I suddenly had a wooden spoon in my hand, and I turned around and I had it raised, and I was like, I really want to hit you with this. I really want to hit you with this. And she was like, well, don't. And I was like, I don't want to. I mean, I don't want to, but I do want to. And I felt like talking it out a little bit helped me come down from it. But it was really hard for me not to whip around and start fucking beating her with it. And it scares me because I've never been pushed that hard. And got the PMS, hadn't taken the meds, hadn't eaten. So that's like trifecta of instability for me. And she was like extra cranky and bitchy and horrible. That bit about it's you and Daddy's fault. What the fuck am I gonna do? I don't know what to do. There's part of me that just wants it to go, let it go. You want to stay up all night? Go ahead. But it doesn't feel right. Oh, the other thing is she stopped sleeping in the tub or anywhere. She's only sleeping with us because one night randomly, she was getting ready to go in the tub, and I was like, "Oh, I miss cuddling with you," and so she decided to sleep with us, and forevermore, that's how it is, and it is snuggly, but our sex life is dead. Like maybe we'll like kind of make out on the couch, but I don't like to have sex on the couch. It's scratchy. Like usually with us, like, you know, we kind of like make out a little and then go on to the our bed. And when she, like she had 4.5 is when she went to her own room. And up until 4.5 she slept with us, but she was like small, and yes, we had sex with her in the room, but like just away on the bed, like not near us. It felt manageable. But now, maybe if it was earlier, and I wasn't totally ready to pass out, but even then she feels so much bigger. It doesn't feel right. She does stay asleep through the night, but it's like, it doesn't feel right. We could put her on the mat. But there's something, it's wrong. It's wrong at this point. I know that. So we've got to get her back in her bedroom. And I mean, now her bedroom's become a dumping ground of everything. So we got to like make it appealing, get all the crap, the toys and the whatever's in the laundry, get it set up with her sheets again. Maybe sleep with her a couple of nights in there. Like, you know, I could take turns sleeping with her and just making it like a safe, nice place to be. And I don't know. Right now our policy is when we're done with screen time, everyone's done with screen time. But it is on the late side because we do talk a lot. So there is a matter of discipline on our part. we are the leaders here. But I don't want to be the leader. It's really hard. I can see my reflection in my glasses. It's just like Videodrome or Max Headroom or something. And, the attitude. It's not the decision making. Well, we used to have more power. Like, we used to have less pushback and rebellion, and like, I mean, she did always question things, but this is like off the chain. And when I wanted to hit her, I also wanted to abandon her. I called Paul and I was like, come home. I want to leave. I just want to like get in the car and leave her here. I want to leave her here. Someone else take over. I don't know who. I was seriously on the brink. Even more than hitting, but of leaving. And then I took some Tylenol and my meds, and I had some peanut butter toast. And I felt much calmer, and I've been feeling kind of sad all day, PMS sadness, but not violent toward her or wanting to abandon her. She has been a lot on the pad, but we went outside for a long time, and her Highlights magazine came. We read that, and I don't know. I felt like it was a good time. We've conversed, connected, but so I guess the moral of the story is: take your meds as soon as you wake up, and eat as soon as you wake up. And if you have cramps, take Tylenol as soon as you wake up. I guess that's really the message here. Okay, bye. I hope it wasn't too boring.